My name is Ian and welcome to Planted. I'm on a mission to share my plant knowledge with you so that you can have more success in your own yard. In this episode we look at spring. It really is just around the corner. Seeing the garden in full leaf and full flower makes you realize that these plants have got a lot of growing to do if they're going to put on a show for this year. But it is in late February, early March when things really do start to get going, even in our northern climate here in coastal Connecticut. Obviously we've had good snowfall this year and we've still got some ice and snow on the ground, but it won't take long for that to melt. And I really want to impress upon you how it's now, this late February, early March window, where things start to happen. And with all the foliage removed from the winter storms, you can really take a close look at your plants, and in this case with the wisteria, start to plan your spring pruning. Now with wisteria, if you prune in the springtime, which I absolutely do and will do, you will be losing a few flowers. This is a scar from some poor training done a few years ago that's healing up quite nicely. Here we have a peony. A lot of people will cut their peony back in the fall. This year I just want to let it be. It's my belief that that is a little layer of insulation and it helps it. You can see here that snow is melting and very gradually being able to soak into the soil. And I applied a layer of leaves last fall and they are now nicely decomposing, and with that snow melt and the leaves decomposing, we start to add nutrients to our soil. Now under this pot is a beautiful alstroemeria. There are some bulbs that are showing the first signs of spring, as you can see here, but that alstroemeria has been spared the onslaught of our strong cold winds, but now it's time to remove it from that cover. It really can get very hot in there, too hot. And it'll put on lots of sappy growth, and then when a frost does come, it'll be knocked back. Now this is a little greenhouse I made from some old windows, and this is a wonderful plant called Edgeworthia. Very, very choice, very special. And I put it in this little greenhouse so that I could prevent it from getting really cold, desiccating winds. And this is what the reward is. You get these beautiful clusters of yellow flowers, and this is just starting to open, and it has the most amazing fragrance. And this is very interesting. This is one of my more choice figs, which I decided not to wrap this year. And it would be easy to say that that is frost that's got in there and damaged that wood. But if that were the case, you'd think it would do more damage on more of the plant. I think that indicates that it has not died. There's still some green in there. I think that part of the plant got scorched. It had prunings removed from it. The sun last summer got in there and did some damage, and then the frost came along and the rest is history. That is another plant with a Californian poppy that I gave a little bit of protection to. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't have a beauty parade in the winter. I don't care how ugly my plants are. I just want them to live. Now here we are with 7 degrees from natural sunlight. There was frost protection at night time last night, but the temperature in here is all from solar gain. That's the beautiful Anisodontia starting to put on some growth. And if we come a little bit higher up, there's a plumbago putting on some nice fresh growth. Not interested in the leaves, I just want it to be alive. There's some growth from the hedychium, the first vestiges of spring. Now as this growth starts to pick up and you start to get these shoots, the watering is going to have to be doubled or trebled, because as soon as you start to put on shoots and we get a higher average temperature, water requirement is going to rocket. That's a wonderful vine called Pandoria. Now I want to show you down here, we've got a nice agapanthus that's come through. And you can just about make out this is a hibiscus with a whole range of beautiful new shoots on it. I cut it back quite hard because I wanted it to do just this. I wanted it to put out shoots, dense and low down to the plant. It also made it a lot easier for it to overwinter. That pot is dry. I'll have to put a lot of water into that to avoid it just going through the root ball. So not the most beautiful of greenhouses, but it's doing exactly what I wanted. And if ever you have a greenhouse, you have to have your vent. That will switch on automatically. There's a little cylinder of wax that will expand and open up that vent. Now here's a nice fig. This is sanguidulse. This is one I did not wrap, and it's come through the winter quite nicely. You can see that it's got nice turgid stems. There's no desiccation there, and I'm optimistic that that plant will do very well this year. End of February, beginning of March is the perfect time to get your dahlias that you saved from last year, and I did a video on these. And I also did a video of me potting these same dahlias on last year. So I'll post that in the description. And although they look ugly, they always come back. Here we go with some more dahlia tubers that came through the winter nicely. This is that big double white. Thank you so much for watching. Tell your friends, tell your family. Spring really is here.